What up? It's your girl DJ Reese, and I have one of the dopest rappers in the game right now. He's known for being the realest, righteous, and relevant. D1, what's good?
Oh, that's a great intro. I appreciate that. That's very clever.
Thank you. Well, you ready to jump right into the interview?
Of course. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. So you grew up in New Orleans, which, you know, that's my second home, too. So what ward are you from?
From the 9th Ward.
So I spent some time out there before. Now, since you're from NOLA, I have to ask you, what's your favorite NOLA dish?
I would say filet gumbo. That has never steered me wrong my whole life. So, nice. Yeah.
Okay, I love jambalaya. All right.
Oh, you like
jambalaya?
You said jambalaya?
Yes, I love jambalaya.
I feel that. I love that as well. I just that's in my top 3. That just
Okay.
That ain't.
Well, you know what is your top 3?
What's my top 3? Gumbo, jambalaya, and I would say crawfish etouffee.
Oh my God, I love crawfish in general. So. Yes. So I read in your bio that you were tempted by the streets growing up, and your best friend ended up being murdered. When all that happened, was that a turning point in your life where you decided that you didn't want to be a part of negativity, or was God calling you to be a light way before that?
Oh, God had been calling me to be a light way before that. And I think that we just feel like we could play both sides of the fence, and things will be okay, because I think that we grow up in a world where people are playing both sides of the fence so frequently, and we don't see any repercussions for it down here on earth. So we feel like, hey, that's just a normal way of life. Like you act according to the people you're in front of at the time, and that's unfortunately that's probably my whole mindset growing up was, your behavior is contingent upon who you kicking it with at the moment, and that stuff is tough because you start to realize that, first of all, nobody should be that easily swayed and tempted to behave according to who they're around. Like, you should set the tone and temperature in the room. You shouldn't have to always adjust to it, and I learned that when my boy got killed, I just started all that. I was like, it's important. Yeah, it's important to make sure that people all know who you are and what you stand for. No matter what environment you're in, because when you're gone, you don't want 10 different people to say 10 different things about who they thought you were.
Right. I agree. Now, you began rapping while you were in college. What college did you graduate from?
I went to LSU.
Nice. Now,
LSU,
why did you...
Baton Rouge, I know some people probably might not know what that is. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right. I definitely did. I'm a football fan, college football fan. That's actually my team right there. Why did you decide specifically to become a middle school teacher?
Because I needed a job. Basically, for real. Like, when I graduated, I needed a job, and I wanted a job that I was gonna be passionate about every day. So I didn't go to school for education. I was not an education major or anything like that, but I did know that I had a passion for children and for educating children. So I made the necessary moves to be able to be a teacher, and that was a great decision, because I never went to work and felt like I don't like this job. Not until the very end of my time as a teacher. That's when I did start to feel like that, but it was never because of the kids. It was always it was, it was always a pleasure to be able to interact with and teach the kids. It was just the administrative foolishness that goes on behind the scenes of dealing with adults that ended up tainting my love I had for teaching.
Okay, and to piggyback off of that, when did you know that you had to leave the school system in order to have a rap career?
Let's see. I knew I couldn't balance both of them because the bigger I started getting as a rapper, the more conflicts I would have in my schedule. So they give you vacation days as a teacher, and I remember being a teacher that second year that I went in to teach, and by the end of October, keep in mind the school year starts in August and ends in May. By the end of October, I had already used all of my vacation days for the whole year, and I still had all the way up until May. And every vacation day I used was because I had something to do with my music, and that showed me right there. It's like, man, my music is starting to become more and more in demand because I got people requesting me to come out of town and do shows and just various things that's going on. It's causing me to have to miss time as a teacher, and I didn't want to be that type of teacher that is absent so much, that my students are not even being able to benefit from my presence, So yeah, so I finished out the school year. I definitely finished it out, but I knew it was about that time.
Okay. A few years ago, I saw in an interview that you were talking about the pure life. Are you currently still on that path? And can you explain all the aspects to our listeners about living a pure life?
Yeah, I mean, I just had this talk with my boy yesterday, ironically, and I feel like as a Christian, you can't skate around anything that comes along with, following the teachings of Christ. So with that being said, that doesn't mean that it won't be hard at times. That doesn't mean that you won't fall short. But you have to be, you have to be striving for it. You have to be striving to adhere to 100% of his teachings. And part of that is being able to live a pure lifestyle as it pertains to sex, and everything that comes along with that. It's a test to really see, are we just convenient Christians, or are we just people that are totally sold out, to what we should be doing? And that's when you start to realize the need for having a strong community around you, or having accountability partners, or just monitoring what you take in as far as the media that you expose yourself to, because all of that stuff contributes to being able to, to walk that walk that we call to walk. And it's definitely, it's a daily challenge. It's a daily challenge. I just I'm not sure if y'all peeped out this new freestyle that I dropped. I just dropped it on my Instagram page, but I'm actually looking at turning it into a whole song. And I speak about the conflict of, basically I said people don't want that real, they just say that they do. Nah, people don't want that real, and I'm one of them too. I'm so easily entertained by ratchet activity. Violent negative imagery always seems to interest me. I tell myself, no more music glorifying evil, selling drugs, womanizing, killing our people. Then I hear a song with a tight beat and can't deny it. The hook is catchy, so I subconsciously memorize it. Next thing you know, I'm reciting all the lyrics. And my day don't feel complete unless I hear it. Inviting darkness in my spirit. This can't be light. I'm craving what I'm supposed to be fighting. This can't be right. I must be blind to the effects. This can't be sight. Death is in the power of the tongue, because this can't be life. Be careful what you get involved with, because you can't support a cause but then hate the effects that it causes. So that's
fire.
Yeah, that's a little snippet from something I just put out. And I know I just spit it more like a poem just now, but there's actually a rap with a beat to it. And that's something that I've been conscious of lately, ever more conscious of the fact that, like, yo, we still we want the world to be a certain way, or we want to be a certain way, but it's like, what do our actions really show? So I have a lot of friends who are lawyers, and they have a thing called billable hours that they have to subject themselves to when they work for a law firm, and that's basically saying, how many hours of your day did you spend doing work on a case for the firm that you can actually, like, bill a client for? Because that, you got to meet a certain amount of billable hours. So it's not just you put on your clothes and you came to work today and you were like, oh yeah, I've been grinding all day. It's like, nah, we actually got to be able to measure how many billable hours did you actually spend, doing work that was related to something we trying to accomplish as a firm. And that's how I feel our actions really, really are a telltale sign as to what we really want to see happen or not see happen in the world. So I just been more conscious of that lately, and trying to be the best person I can be in all those areas. Hopefully through me examining myself, that makes other people feel what's the right word? Compelled to examine their own actions and thoughts and everything. So I'm not trying to point the finger at people at this point in life. I'm trying to point it at myself, and I think through doing that, and it allows people to let their guard down and say, all right, since D1 just said this, like, I feel more comfortable raising my hand now and saying, me too, bro. Like, I need to get better in that area too. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of people know you from your song, Sally Maybach. Do you think it was as big as it got? Like, do you think it could have been bigger, or do you feel like you already knew, like, the amount of success you were going to receive from it?
I definitely think it could be bigger than what it's gotten, and I think I'm in a position where I made a song that will never get old, because people are always gonna feel, they're always gonna feel that joy that I felt when I finished paying my loans off. So whenever somebody pays their loans off, they're gonna think of Sally Maybach. So, so I'm in a position right now where, I'm always seeing that song continue to pop up and continue to grow and everything. But I never put a cap on anything I do and say, well, it got as big as it was supposed to get. It's like, now I can always grow bigger, and the best way for that to happen is word of mouth. The more people talk about it, then the more people are going to go and research it. Yeah.
Okay. You have an album out right now called Slingshot David. What inspired that name, the name of that project?
Slingshot David. So we all know that David defeated Goliath, and David defeated Goliath with a slingshot. So for me, the title has two meanings. Number one, it's about everyone finding their own slingshot. So your slingshot is whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, that thing that God gave you that you're skilled and you're gifted in that area. That's your slingshot, and you should be able to use your slingshot to defeat the Goliaths that are present in your life. So that's one meaning. And the other meaning is, my real name is David. So when I say Slingshot David, I'm also saying this is the story of how David, meaning me, D1, found his slingshot. So that's why over the course of the album, I basically tell my whole life story on that album. And people, they don't just view me as D1, the rapper who they know now. Then I get to take them back into my world. Ever since like middle school, I take them into my world and they understand how I grew up and what I went through and what I experienced that made me take the route that I've taken.
Okay. What's your favorite song off the album?
Oh man, it's hard to pick. Yeah, it's hard to pick one song and say that that's my favorite, because I'm in love with all of these songs because they are all like a chapter in my story. So for me, if I had to try to narrow it down, I could probably give you like my top 3 songs. Hold on a second, y'all. What's up, Pop? Good? Good to see you. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna come check you out in a second. All right. Yeah. If I had to pick 3 songs, I would say I Don't Want to Let You Down is one. I would say Hood Feelings is 2. And I'd say Intelligence is 3. So those 3 songs. And Love Always Wins, I gotta put 4 in there. It's featuring 7 Street.
The last 2 are my favorite. I love both of those. I was jamming to those a few days ago.
Yeah, so I really rock with those.
Okay. What upcoming projects are you currently working on? Can you give us the scoop?
The scoop. So, of course, I'm working, and I work so much and so frequently that I have a lot coming up. I am currently getting everything organized to see when and how I want to release it. But that's one thing I can't tell y'all is please just stay tuned to my movements. So I guess the best way nowadays is just to follow me on social media, so that way you always can be locked in with what I have going on. There's gonna be so much stuff coming out that it's not like a big announcement that I can make, because it's just gonna be a constant stream of a bunch of stuff coming out. So it's probably best to just start today. So if you're not locked in and you're listening to this, go follow me online. I'm talking Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube, all that stuff, and it's all D1 Music, DEE, the number 1 music. So that's my name on Facebook, IG, and YouTube, DEE, the number 1 music. You dig?
All right. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I truly appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you for having me, and just for being a supporter too. So thank you, and I promise you, I'm not gonna disappoint you in this coming year. Trust me, I got some stuff that's gonna make the hair on your arm stand up. So it's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready for it. It's your girl DJ Reese, and I'm out.
Digital Dope Radio.